My name's Jared Crew.
And I'm Michele Crew.
And we've been going to Grace for about 8.5 years. After about 4 years of marriage, we decided that it was time to try to start a family. We went through several months of not getting pregnant, and then we decided that there were some clear medical issues going on and that Michele should see her physician.
I thought, well, he would have our answers, that we finally made it to a place where we would have a plan and things would be good from here. He decided to put us on a different type of medication, and what was supposed to take 3 months ended up taking an entire year to get through just the first step of our fertility journey.
Each month that we went through these steps, as well as the previous steps with her physician, every month resulted in another negative test and another failure. And every month we were reminded that it still wasn't happening. We still weren't pregnant, which was very tough.
And all the while, friends and family, or even strangers, are announcing pregnancies or having children, and social events became difficult because there were so many kids or running around or in bellies or expected, and for us, we just had that emptiness and a little bit of hopelessness.
After going through about a year of medication, our fertility specialist decided that that wasn't working either. We then went through more invasive treatments and therapies, and went through several rounds of IUI, which also wasn't successful. That lasted for roughly 1 year. And then after that year, we decided that after so many failures, after so many heartaches at the end of each month, that we needed to take a break. That the strain in our marriage and our relationships with our friends were suffering, and that we needed to step back and stop all treatments and therapies for a while.
And even during that time, I was still struggling with it. It wasn't far from my mind because it was something that we wanted so badly. And I remember telling him that I wasn't okay. I just had to say, I'm just not okay.
Through this time, we had a verse that we continue to reflect upon in Psalms, and it just spoke on waiting on the Lord.
Psalm 27:14, and it just said, be strong, take heart, and wait on the Lord.
God would give us what we needed to go through this, whether we were to have a family or not, that God is still faithful, and He still is always there, no matter what. So our prayer at that time was not just, can we have a family, can we have children, but also, if not, give us the peace and the strength to go on and to be okay with that. He approached us with IVF, which initially we were against IVF for no particular reason. But we decided to go about it a little bit different way than he had ever done before. We are a full believer in embryos being babies, and we wanted to preserve life as much as possible. And he agreed with our plan to do that, and therefore in December of 2014 we decided to undergo in vitro fertilization, and that was successful.
Yeah.
We got to share with our families at Christmas that year that we were expecting, and that was the best Christmas gift that we could ever have. In January, we found out not only were we pregnant, but we were having twins, which was exciting and scary and all other emotions all at once. In August of 2015, we had 2 healthy, beautiful babies, and they have been the joy of our lives since.
And it's hard to share a story of enduring without saying that it wasn't all pretty, it wasn't all perfect. We have faith, we had faith through the whole thing, but it wasn't always really strong, and that we're gonna have children and we know it and God's gonna do that for us. But even if we had the littlest bit, we had that foundation that God honored that. Every time that I would start sinking down into despair or pain, He would do something to lift me up or to encourage me, whether it be reading something in some of the books that I was going through about infertility, or speaking directly to my heart in a song or through prayer, and using other people in our lives. He was always with us and walking with us through it. And it kind of reminds me of Pastor Derek's Easter message that you don't need big faith, you need a big God, and we are very glad we have one.